Welcome back to Carolina Static. I'm Sean, and welcome back to a part two of the Roots of Rock and Roll. Today, I'm doing a special one. You see the title, Led Zeppelin Rock and Roll. Transitioning from the 50s, 60s, we're into the 70s now, where early rock and roll influenced some of the more modern times of rock and roll. Led Zeppelin Rock and Roll, we're going to check it out, the official audio, because I could not find a solid live version, but that's okay. All right, check it out. Let me know down below in the comment section if y'all are enjoying this journey from the origins that we started from, moving into more modern times, and I have a lot planned for y'all. So make sure y'all stick around. If you're enjoying, drop a lightning bolt in the comment section. If you're a huge Led Zeppelin fan and you've seen me do my very first Led Zeppelin video, Kashmir, let me know if you came from that video. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Right. Pause. I know I paused it pretty early, but right off the bat, you can definitely hear the influence of like Chuck Berry and a bit of like Lionel Richie, Buddy Holly. Like, but definitely Chuck Berry. You can definitely hear that right off the bat. That's like Johnny Be Good is definitely heavily in there, just like a smidge. Like, tell me if y'all hear it in the comment section. My bad. Let's get into it. It's been a long time since I rock and roll. It's been a long time since I did the stroll. Ooh, let me get it back, let me get it back, let me get it back. Baby, where I come from. It's been a long time, and a long time, and a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Yes, it has. It's been a long time since I look out love. Yo. I can't get the tears of a life with no love. You definitely hear the more so diverse version of it, like how it's more sped up than it was for the early roots of rock and roll. Like all that heavily influenced what made Led Zeppelin. Like a lot of the artists were influenced by early rock and rolls, and you could really hear, like I said, Chuck Berry into it. Also, like there were fast paced back then, but you can really hear how it got ramped up and got a little bit more crazier, a little wilder than it was. Like they did some crazy stuff, put feet on pianos, did the duck walk, like made crazy riffs on the guitar that is very noticeable in today's times. But to have listened from that and really notice a lot of influences, notice a lot of similarities into Led Zeppelin is just completely, it's so cool to like actually see what it came from and what it meshed into. Like that. Carry me back, carry me back, carry me back. Baby, where I come from. I think this is one of the early stuff too. It's been a long time, and a long time, and a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. The guitar? And sorry, this is gonna be one of my last time pausing it. I apologize. I have to. I have to. It's just something that YouTube makes me do. I would sit here and like rock out with it and enjoy it with y'all, but we got to do a little splatter every once in a while. But you really see where like a lot of like guitar solos evolved as well. Like if you go back to like any other video where they did guitar solos, Big Mama Thornton, Chuck Berry, like anybody, Buddy Holly, anybody that was like really slide, even in blues, anybody that was really sliding on the guitar, like hitting those noticeable riffs, you really sit here and notice and like, dang, like even the guitar solos itself like really evolved and got more ramped up. Like it's still like as chill, but it's like more ramped up, more like I can't think of the word. We'll talk more of it about it. I just wanted to point that out just because it was a guitar solo and it kind of just like the journey is it's just truly a journey and I'm truly learning a lot to see all the similarities. Sick. Yeah. Okay. That was definitely, yeah. Sorry, the audio is about to get a little, because I'm about to stop it from here.
Yo, Led Zeppelin, rock and roll. Like I said, I was introduced from Led Zeppelin. When I did my first video from like doing Kashmir, that was my first introduction to them. And then I randomly transitioned into doing blues and starting a whole series of like sounds and samples of music, like starting from the beginning, like where did it really come from for how music of today really evolved from, right? But hearing Led Zeppelin rock and roll, like I was talking about, you can really hear a little bit of Chuck Berry, like the influence they had on them with the guitar, and then getting into the guitar like solos. Like I think these are more prominent era for this, like the 70s. They did have guitar solos back then, but it wasn't as hard, like not harsh in a bad way, but it wasn't as like hard hitting as it is with Led Zeppelin and many more artists, many more bands. But honestly, this was one of the better ones, getting to like the nitty-gritty of Led Zeppelin and seeing what I started from, what I heard, and then getting like seeing more of the influential times from like the early roots of rock and roll transcended into modern times just a little bit, to like really hear like who influenced them the most, who did they sample from, and who did they like just put in a like put little bits and pieces from who they enjoyed listening to or grew up listening to and put them in a pot, mixed them together, and made a wonderful sound. Like, and then even introducing like freaking drum solos. Like back then there wasn't really drum solos. Back then, the early roots of rock and roll, if you look at the videos I did, or if you know like some older songs, they didn't really have, they had drums implemented, but it's more so like the little bass drum and more so cymbals and a little bit of snare. But it wasn't using a whole drum kit like how Led Zeppelin did, doing that ending piece where they hit it and then introduce some more of the guitar before it ended. Like I feel like this was more so the introduction of the drum solo as well into rock and roll. And like the outfits were different, like the difference in the voices, which we call early roots of rock and roll, to like the voices now. I have a whole journey that we're going on for like 70s, 80s, 90s. Like I mentioned in the intro, y'all about to be on for a whole ride this week. So if you're a part of the journey, again, let me know that you're here for the journey and not just for individual artists. But you came for individual artists, stick for the rest of the journey, because I promise it's going to be worth it. And it's not gonna just stop. Like, I have a whole thing planned for after all of this evolution of music is over. Because it's never truly over. Music is always evolving. So stay tuned for that. Check out my latest post on my community post about the different chapters that we're about to get into, plus more. And if you're not already a member of the Static Crew, make sure y'all hit subscribe, hit like, comment for me. And beside the subscribe button, there's a join button. 99 cents forever in a day, unless you join a different tier. Until next time.